some of the biggest changes that you've seen? I mean, if you're like me, I stopped driving about 12 years ago, and there's been major changes, especially with technology and stuff. What's some
Yeah, I
of the
was going to say.
changes that you've seen since you started in the industry that kind of
Well,
really?
technology is definitely one. Trucks, satellites. Because I remember we used to have to make phone calls to find out what we were doing.
Do you remember phone cards, Jack? Tell me you remember phone cards, because I used to have a phone card, and it was the
Yeah,
only way you could communicate.
we had phone cards, had pagers.
Yeah.
Had all the old stuff. I guess
Okay.
never had a company phone though.
No, no, they weren't giving them out back then.
No.
Did you? Did you used to keep? Okay, so I'm going to really test your length of being on the road. Did you have what we call the little black book? Every driver I know, myself included, had a little black book with everybody's phone number, from the custom agent over at Peace Bridge to, your favorite clients, with directions. Did you have that kind of a system going on back in the day?
Uh, yeah, sort of. But mine was more. I used to start with destinations, and every time I stopped, I took mileages, so I knew the distances in between.
Right.
So I really got to know how long it took to get to places.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did that, and that also came in handy with the logs. So
Right. 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 Yeah, because
uh,
a lot of new drivers don't think about that stuff. I know our podcast is a lot for the new drivers. I mean, anybody can listen to it. Probably our prime person that's listening to this is that person from zero. I'm going to say 0 to 5 years, maybe even 0 to 10 years experience, where they're starting in the industry and they're trying to learn all of those tips of how to do
yeah,
better. And a lot of people don't think that driving is just about, if you just drive down the road, that's how you make the money. But any of the older guys or the long-term people know that what you make money by being really smart, by trying to minimize those delays, proper trip
yeah,
planning, that's where you
absolutely.
really make your money. If you don't sit in a dock for 2 hours, you're making more money than the guy who's sitting there for 4, right? So
Oh, you got to watch your time. Yeah,
yeah, so
you got to maximize what you're doing.
right. So knowing how to, how to save time, how to track those, and there's a lot of tracking that goes on, and I know a lot of drivers do similar to yourself, tracking mileage, tracking distances, taking notes. People don't think we're taking notes, but always taking notes remember to call Jill next time you go to Kellogg's or wherever, right? So that you know. So now, so technology's been a big thing. One of the things I always ask drivers is how you're communicating on the road. So do you still use a CB, Jack? Are you a CB guy?
I still have a CB.
Yeah.
I will occasionally reach out to somebody now and again,
Yep.
but it just seems like nobody seems to have one.